Okay, let's jump right in. We're doing a deep dive today into something that feels, well, almost sci-fi, but the material we're looking at frames it as very real. We're talking AGI, ASI, and the Singularity.
Yeah, this source document really paints a picture of AI evolving incredibly fast, almost like a global race towards, well, something huge that could change everything.
Exactly. So our goal here is to, unpack these big terms, AGI, ASI, Singularity, based on this material, understand what's potentially at stake, and really think about what it might mean for you.
Right. Definitions first, probably best, because AGI, ASI, and the Singularity, they're sort of distinct milestones, aren't they? AGI, artificial general intelligence.
Yeah, AGI. Think of it like AI reaching parity with human intelligence.
Yep.
The material says it's AI that can do what humans do, intellectually write, invent, solve complex problems, maybe even grasp emotions. Basically, a digital mind that learns and thinks like us.
And then comes ASI, artificial superintelligence. That's the next level, a massive leap. The source describes it as intelligence just vastly beyond any human mind, maybe thousands, even millions of times smarter. It's not just faster, it's fundamentally more capable.
Which naturally leads to this idea of the singularity. That's the theoretical point, right? Where ASI gets so good at improving itself, technology just accelerates beyond our ability to follow, let alone control. The pace becomes, well, unimaginable.
And it's interesting why this race is happening, according to the source. What's driving it so hard?
Well, the material points to some pretty big motivators. The quest for global power, huge economic advantages, and the potential for unprecedented scientific leaps.
But there's a catch, isn't there, tied directly to that speed?
Exactly. The faster everyone races, the less time potentially is spent on making sure it's all safe. That seems to be a major concern highlighted.
That's the risk, definitely, the speed itself. But the source also lays out the flip side, the incredible potential benefits if we manage this transition carefully. An age of abundance, it calls it.
And that sounds pretty amazing, you have to admit. Things like instant cures for diseases, clean, cheap energy for everyone, AI tutors perfectly tailored to how you learn.
Yeah, automation handling tedious labor, breakthroughs in fundamental science, exploring space. It does paint a very compelling picture, almost utopian.
Almost. But the material doesn't shy away from the other side, the potential disruption and, frankly, the risks.
No, it's quite grounded there. It talks about serious upheaval, things like widespread job losses due to automation.
Which could lead to massive economic inequality, maybe even social unrest. And then there's that deeper question the source raises, what happens to our sense of identity, what it means to be human.
Right, and beyond that, the more direct sort of existential worries, the document is explicit. Losing control of these powerful systems.
The challenge of making sure their goals align with ours, that seems critical.
Absolutely, and the potential for misuse, weaponization, and ultimately, the source mentions existential risk, the possibility of really profound harm.
So it really feels like we're facing a fork in the road described here. Potentially utopia, potential disaster. What does the material suggest we can actually do about it?
It outlines a few key things. Global cooperation is stressed, moving beyond just pure competition.
That makes sense. And research.
Yes, dedicated AI safety research, focusing specifically on the challenges posed by superintelligence. Plus, developing clear ethical guidelines.
And just making people aware, getting everyone to understand what's potentially coming.
Exactly. Public awareness is presented as vital. Because, as the source puts it, we're kind of standing right at the edge of potentially the biggest transformation in human history.
A golden age or
Yeah.
something much worse. It really puts the focus on the choices we make now. The need for wisdom, working together, maybe a bit of humility.
It really does. So, thinking about all this, standing at the edge, as the source says, of such a profound shift, what does that framing really mean for your perspective on technology and where we might be headed? Something to really consider.